Hey guys, so basically today we're doing extrapolation again, but today we're actually going to be getting the predictions, and it's like in linear regression, so we're only getting historical data like 3 years ago. So the prediction, like the values of the predictions are not going to be so widely different. So here we go. Over here you can see another program. So basically we're doing extrapolation again. So basically this time we're actually going to be doing the prediction as well. So we're doing a linear regression model. So the prediction will not have like such wide different like predictions because of the lack of data, since it's only like 3 years of historical data that I'm getting right now. So when I run this, then yeah, so I'm waiting for it to load, and then if I enter, for example, Apple, and then the date which I want the data, so today it's like 31st of October. So then I'm going to enter, for example, like 4th of November, maybe, like not such a big gap, but and then here it's saying that there's like 5 days between today and 4th, and then the predicted stock price is 152.35. So basically what I'm doing is that first I'm importing like all of the things I need to import. So it's like date time and import date, then request and JSON, then relative delta, then from sklearn linear model I'm importing linear regression and pandas as PD. Then I'm asking the user for their company name, so please enter the name of the company. Then I'm making it into lowercase. Then which date I want the prediction for, so here's the extrapolation date. Then I'm getting the historical data, so this is the URL for the, so basically now I'm simply getting the old data, like the historical data. So then this is the URL, after that I'm getting it, then I'm doing like json.loads. After that I'm making a counter to move the index in this loop over here. And here I'm like instantiating these two variables over here. So the parsing JSON file company code and the parsing JSON file company name. Then here is like the for loop to move the counter and check which company code the name corresponds to. So the user entered the name. So now I'm using this loop to check which company code the name corresponds to. So here I have for item and data. Then I'm parsing the file to extract the company code. And then I'm parsing it to extract the company name as well. And then after making it lowercase, I'm like comparing both of them and seeing if it matches. If it doesn't, then I'm moving the counter, and if eventually it doesn't found, then like the company was not found. And then it exits. Then here I'm getting the current date. So now that I have the company code and name, now I'm getting the current date. So I can start from today and get the data from the previous 3 years. So here first I'm using date time to get today's date, so the user doesn't need to enter the date themselves. It'll automatically get the date like of today. So then after that I'm getting 3 years ago. So I'm subtracting exactly 3 years from the current date. And then I get like, so that I have the range for which date I want. Then the URL, then the query string, which is like, so like the date start is 3 years ago and the date end is current date. Then the headers, so basically you need to have your own API key, and I'm using Rapid API. So after that, here I'm getting it, and then if this was not successful, then API request was failed and exit again. Then after, if it is successful, then it continues. So then here I'm doing json.loads, and then after that I'm initializing the list to store the date and the closing price. So I'm making 2 empty lists here. Then I'm extracting the date and the close price data. So for entry and data results, and then here I'm appending like all of the data into the lists. So all of the dates go in this one, in this list, and then all of the closing prices go into this list. Then here I'm creating a pandas data frame from the data. And then, so basically I'm using all of the data that I've gotten up here, and then I'm putting it here to make the data frame. And after that, I'm using the panda package to get the dates, and then all of that, it's changing it, like all the dates, into a datetime format. So all of the dates I'm getting, it's getting changed into datetime format. Then here I'm getting like the number of days, and then after that calculates the number of dates, so like the minimum date. So basically, if I just need to get rid of this is like a debugger. So here basically I'm calculating the number of days after the minimum date, and then after that I'm getting so here I'm getting the days, like the difference. So basically here I'm getting like the number of days in between the extrapolation date and the last date, and over here I'm defining the last date. So the list of dates up here, so basically this list of dates, and I'm getting the difference between the extrapolation date and the last date. So basically I've separated them into like year, month, and days, and then I'm simply using date time again to get their differences. So, and then I'm just subtracting them. And after that, I'm converting the extrapolation date to days. And finally, I'm making the prediction.